Hi, I'm Pat Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, coming to you from IT Expo West in Los Angeles, and I'm joined with Quentin Dybel, VP of Operations for FaxBack. Hi Quentin, how you doing?
Hello.
Welcome today.
Thank you very much.
So why don't you start off by giving us a brief overview of FaxBack and what you guys do?
Okay. Basically, we are a fax server vendor that have been in the space for the businesses for quite a while. We make solutions for the small business, the enterprise, and for the last few years, we've been exclusively working on solutions for the carrier space.
Okay.
Both for connecting business fax servers to the carrier, to the cloud, and also some new technology that we have now that we've partnership with AudioCodes by connecting the fax machine to the carrier in a secure and reliable manner. And that's really what's new and exciting that we're talking about here at IT Expo.
Okay, so this is a new development, and what's the advantage of that connectivity alternative compared to using, for example, the T38 protocol?
Okay. Most fax machines these days, when businesses want to connect to a service provider or a VoIP provider, they have to connect their fax machine to an ATA.
Right.
And typically those ATAs just connect as SIP T38. And that works fine as long as you have a dedicated network or a QoS link. But for a lot of businesses that are connecting to the open internet, they don't get security, and those fax transmissions, especially from the fax machine, are not necessarily reliable. It does work, but as the faxes get longer, the quality of the faxes and the number of times you might have to retry them goes down. So what we've done is we've developed a new platform or a new protocol that rides on HTTPS. And that allows us to keep the fax transmission real time, but also give it the buffer space to make it work over not just the open internet, but satellite connections, cellular connections, and things like that too.
Okay.
So we're able to guarantee from the customer premise where the fax machine is into the provider, we can virtually make that 100% reliable.
Okay.
And we've partnered with AudioCodes to they actually have embedded the HTTPS solution into their ATA now.
Okay.
And that connects to our back end. So it's a reliable, a very well-trusted solution from the ATA standpoint.
Okay, great. So based on what you're saying, it sounds like it would be logical for a lot of IP fax providers, solutions providers, to connect to the open cloud via this HTTPS protocol that you're talking about. So what does that mean for T38 moving forward? I mean, is this something that could potentially upend T38?
Not really. There's nothing wrong with T38 as long as it's kept over a QoS network or in the back end for the carrier.
Right.
It's just for fax machines and fax servers that need to connect over the open internet. T38 really wasn't designed for the open internet where there's latency, packet burst loss.
Right.
So we've just moved the T38 into the carrier where they can control it with their media gateway connections, where it works just fine. And as far as transporting the fax in real time over the open internet, we've just made a much better way, a much more efficient way to transport the fax still in real time from the premise or the fax machine into the carrier.
Wow.
And working with AudioCodes to embed that into the ATA, it's just been a huge advantage.
Right. It's occurring to me that the huge advantage of this, because I mean, you know, we hear about the problems with internet fax and using the T38 protocol, and the problem is that it's not consistently supported. So if you're trying to transmit a fax and it's got to hop across multiple links across multiple networks, you run into that one where T38 isn't supported or isn't supported properly, and you've got a problem. You're going to run into packet loss and you've got a potential failure. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Okay, so sounds like it would be a more reliable way to transmit fax across the open internet.
Exactly. It just removes a lot of the legs that T38 might run on where it could fail. It just brings that out of the picture, moves it to the back end, and just really makes it a much more reliable connection.
Okay, great. What are you getting out of the show here? Are you getting pretty good traffic and finding that there's a lot of interest in your product and what you're doing?
Absolutely. There's a lot of carriers here that are looking for ways to make their customer fax transition much easier, and they're really excited to see the solutions we offer and start testing it and actually move to deploying it. So
Right.
it's been really good.
Okay. We were going to talk a little bit about the regulation, the compliancy aspect of,
Okay.
of your product, and I understand that your product is capable of imaging all of the and doing storage of all the images of all
Sure.
the faxes. Maybe you can explain a little bit about
Sure.
how that works.
One of the aspects of faxing that a lot of lawyers, medical industry need is the regulation compliance. And that means, first of all, keeping the fax secure, but also being able to archive all images that come and go from all fax devices.
Right.
And that's typically been hard from the fax machine. Most people have had to keep paper copies and make sure they're filed. One of the features that rolls out of our solution is any fax sent to or from the fax machine is automatically archived either at the premise or at the carrier, depending on what features they're looking to do. So that really, enforces and brings about all the compliance issues in a package solution so easy.
Okay, that's great. I would imagine that as companies are doing this, they're ending up with quite a huge archive of data from backing up all these images, though, isn't that right? I mean, it requires another sort of a storage solution in order to be able to do it.
That's true, but
that's the regulation
that's
driving that, of course.
Exactly. So, but with the automatic solutions, we can move these images into so many storage mechanisms, whether it's SharePoint, Oracle, SQL,
right.
whatever storage solution they're looking for, or even the cloud storage systems these days. It's easy to move those faxes into that type of
compress
mechanism.
the data down. Yep. Right. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Good. Well, thanks very much for
talking
to us today. We've been talking to Quentin Deibel, Vice President of Operations for FaxBack, coming to you from IT Expo West in Los Angeles. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you.